All right.
That out of the way.
All right.
Interesting.
If anyone wants to give any more fucks out, right now is the perfect time to do it.
Do we have like a fuck limit before we're taken
No.
down?
No, unlimited.
$100.
I paid extra for that.
I mean, if we're gonna put this on YouTube, we can't monetize it. If we curse within the first 60 seconds.
So, how's everybody doing?
You know, it's like a
Wunderbar.
6 out of 10.
Cool. We'll go ahead and I'm still getting my shit together here, but yeah, let's you guys in for a recap.
I think so.
I am.
Okay. Okay. Rob pray wrong.
Well, Ricky, you're dead. You chose
Ricky
your
is
character.
dead.
It's a good thing I have Xfinity Time Star Lives. I'll come back in. Harder
Who has
than
Xfinity?
ever. What?
Who uses Xfinity?
Me.
The interwebs?
Yeah, me unfortunately.
From
Yeah,
AT&T?
that's why I drop out all the time.
Yeah.
So, where we last left off, Ezra with her mentor, Esther Tajira, reincarnated Asher as a tabaxi. After which point, your group decided to blow off some steam, and you traveled to the Hunter's Hill and into the Honor League Sync Division, where you entered as combatants. In doing so, Daru challenged Mort, his old college mate, to a one-on-one battle that, for the most part, was honored by both teams. Putting his trusty cutlass and his and the probably cursed amulet that you found in the underpath, staked that for $2,500. In the fight, a lot of you were killed and respawned in the digital dimension that is the battlescape. And I believe you came out on top with being 1 point ahead. And I believe Daru actually won his 1v1. Secondary to a bit of hubris by Mort and a very well-placed psychic dart by Daru. Some of you noticed during the fight certain things were not working as intended. At one point, the skybox that made up the audience cut out. And about halfway through the fight, so did the shoutcaster. Some of you randomly began taking varied bits of damage in your forms. And as you won the fight and are pulled out of the battlescape, let's see here. Virgil, you got thrown onto an entirely different team. You were actually competing with Tyrannosaurus Dex. With them.
Okay, awesome.
And you were, which that team had also been kind of split up, and some of their members were actually competing against each other. So it was kind of this
as much as you guys.
mismatch of tomfoolery going on. And your fight ended a little bit earlier. And as you're pulled out of it, you are on your back, blinded by sunlight shining through into what was originally an underground location, and you are covered in rubble.
Okay. Am I stuck or just covered?
You have sustained 13 points of bludgeoning damage
Jesus.
and piercing damage. And as you look down, there is a metal pipe, or like a piece of rebar, sorry, that had
a piece of
that is just kind of pierced your flank.
Jesus.
Ouch.
It's pierced it just on the lateral side, so it's not stuck inside of you, but it took a chunk out of you.
Okay. Can I use a quick healing word on that sucker?
Yeah, you can use a healing word, but you are restrained.
Oh, I'm stuck.
You are stuck.
Okay, so can I use a couple spells here?
Sure.
Let's see.
As this is happening, you hear other people in the fight begin kind of groaning in pain. Some begin panicking, shouting for help. And in general, it sounds like the greater area of the sink right now is in a lot of chaos.
Okay, so I'm going to use a combination for myself and others around me of Mold Earth and Healing Word.
Okay.
First on myself, and then going around and doing as much as I possibly can for others.
Okay, what level spell is Healing Word? Or sorry, Mold Earth.
It's an at-will cantrip.
Mold Earth, okay.
Yeah, if that answers your question.
Okay.
That's a cantrip?
Go ahead and
It is a cantrip.
Wow, that's cool.
go ahead. Let me see. Okay, so as you're doing that, let's see. Fira, and actually just Fira. You have taken 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's to the additional damage you took last week.
No. All that damage is gone because you were in a digital dimension.
I mean, like when we woke up under the rubble, you told us how much damage we took.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
that's additional.
we already did that. Never mind.
Yeah.
So, anyone who took damage, you are also restrained.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
you didn't take damage, you're not restrained?
Yes.
I took 22.
Okay, so you are also restrained.
So what does it mean by restrained? Like, what can't we do? We just
You
can't
cannot.
move
You
around.
can't move.
Okay.
Asher, as you come to, you're not restrained, but you've got bits of rubble on you. You can squeeze out, and as you look around, go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh, my dice are here.
And for you, Virgil, go ahead and give me a spellcasting ability check, which would just be roll a d20 and add your charisma modifier for your ability to move Earth to free yourself.
Okay.
That's 16. Sorry, my app didn't load. I didn't realize. I rolled a natural 16. Plus whatever.
My total is 16 after my roll in charisma.
Okay. So you're able to restrain yourself. Asher, we'll just go with 16 as your
22.
total roll. Okay, 22.
Yeah.
With that, you notice to your left, you see Ezra just kind of pulling out. You guys are separated by rubble, but there's enough space where you can see her kind of freeing herself, getting up. In the same chamber as Daru, who seems to be completely covered in rubble up to about his chest.
Do I see Fira?
You are separated from her. You're separated from Fira. You see where Asher is. Asher on your other side. You see Fira also, who is. Actually, you don't see her. You would hear her, but she's under quite a bit of rubble as well.
Oh shit! I'm gonna
Ezra,
start going over there
you help.
immediately.
Help Fira, I'll help Daru.
Okay.
I
Oh.
let go over to Daru.
Show me what those cat muscles can do.
Well, I don't think I can pick this up, but gods of nature, give him some healing. I'm gonna use cure wounds.
Jesus.
Okay.
And that gives you a D8.
And I'm completely out of spells and out of everything, so I am trying to pick up these boulders with my tiny arms.
Okay.
Would she, are you out of spells because you used them in the simulation or just in general?
In general, we haven't taken a long rest since.
Uh-huh.
Because the simulation was different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm completely out.
Oh, Jesus.
9 points.
Okay.
Do I see my companions? Or am I just helping?
You were in the same chamber, so at this point, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh boy. Oh.
I'll begin just trying to push little pieces of rubble aside as Asher is healing me to try to get a space to lift myself
Go
up.
ahead and make a strength check.
Am I at disadvantage because of the book, Goblin book?
Yes, you are.
All right, keeping us all honest here.
9.
9. Okay. You get away some of the light pieces, but not enough of the rubble to make a big difference. With that, Asher, as you unleash the healing energy out of your hands, that cat skull around your neck begins to rattle for a bit violently, almost like there's something inside of it. It's rattling almost like the rattler of a rattlesnake. And as the natural energy is expended, it stops.
I've got a 6 in perception.
Okay. You begin molding this earth, and as you go, Daru, you feel something give under you, and you fall about 10 feet. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me.
That's a 3. I'm going to add a D8 to that. 15?
15? Okay. So you only take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit a variety of hard surfaces that are kind of hazardously jutting through the space that was created, and you kind of land hard on your back, just kind of groaning, and you look up and you see Virgil just looking down on you curiously. So Virgil, you found Daru.
I smile at him and offer him a hand.
I'm 10 feet underground now, aren't I?
No, yet Virgil was beneath you, and through his arcane magic has been digging himself out, and by doing that, dug the ground up from under you, which, as a note,
Yes.
I'd like both of you to make dexterity saving throws, as some of the rubble above you has been shifted with Daru falling through, and is now falling through this chamber as well.
Dexterity saving throws, huh?
Yep.
24.
21.
21, okay. So you only take 5 points of bludgeoning damage again. So both of you suffer that, unless you don't have evasion, Daru, do you?
Not yet.
I don't think so. Yeah. Okay. So you both take another 5 points of bludgeoning damage as these loose rocks and boulders shower down on you after Daru, as you grab his hand.
Thank you.
How far would you say we're from the surface, or at least I am?
For you, about 20 feet. You guys
And
were.
is there anyone
I'm digging.
directly above me?
There doesn't appear to be anyone above you. You look to your left and you see Asher, who is at this point kind of squeezed through a bit of rubble and is actually now looking down, kind of bewildered, down a hole.
Virgil, nice to see you here. Does anyone see Hyde?
I have not seen Hyde.
Nope.
I wonder if I can.
I assume if anybody, he's doing the best out of us.
I mean,
Guys, I can't
This
move these
happens-
rocks.
As this happens, you're hearing people shouting, and there's this kind of shake, this tremble through the earth that shakes you all to your core. There's something, or there was some kind of impact, something big.
is there
Can I
any?
look around?
What are you looking for?
Anywhere where where there would be an impact?
It sounds distant but huge, as though a meteor or something struck.
Okay.
Am I in a position where I can get to like a perch atop some of the rubble that's maybe higher, so I can try and get a view of what the sound was?
You've got about 20 feet to go. You guys are essentially 20 feet underground in this lattice of a building collapsing on itself.
We're like earthquake survivors. Okay.
Yes.
Buried beneath. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna start yelling out for Mort.
Okay. You yell out. You hear this. Yeah. Yeah. You made it, huh?
Made it. Well, I'm alive.
All right, well, I can't find a way to get to you. We're trying to dig our way out.
I'll follow his voice and try to dig towards him.
Okay, he sounds like he's above you and maybe 10 feet past. It was a bit distant.
Can I wild shape into a giant badger and burrow to the surface?
So with that, you wild shape into a large badger, and as that happens, the rubble around you kind of shifts, and in this form, you begin to move pretty easily through the earth with your burrowing speed. So you want to get to the surface?
I guess try to like smell out who's closest to me to help them out as well.
As you move about, for now, it actually looks like most everyone is, most of your companions have freed themselves. Do you want to try to go for anyone else?
Sure.
Okay. So, I mean, there are a lot of contestants here, so go ahead and roll a d20 and add your wisdom modifier.
Does anyone need healing in the meantime? Yeah, okay, saw a nod. Saw a nod there. All right, can I use healing word on Daru?
That's 15.
15? Okay. So, Fira, you're working on digging people out. I will say, as this happens, you do come across two combatants that look like they were killed in the collapse of this building. And Virgil, you do recall in your game, two combatants on the opposing team were pulled from the game randomly and replaced with bots.
These two?
Two were. You don't know what happened, where they went. You assumed it was some kind of problem with the game.
Okay. Daru, take 7 healing.
Thank you.
Before I forget.
Much appreciated.
Oh yeah. You know, it's what we do.
Prestidigitation says I can create a non-magical trinket. Is that very specific, or could I create like a tiny crowbar?
I'd say for the purposes of this, a trinket would be like a wristwatch sized item that isn't going to have a whole lot of function. As you try, you can create almost like a little laser pen almost that you kind of start to pry and you're like, yeah, this isn't really that useful. But you're free. You and Virgil are now free. You're not restrained anymore, as he essentially dug you out from beneath. You're just like 20 feet underground, and there's still a lot of ways to go. But no one at this point is restrained.
Can we use any type of telepathy to locate Hyde?
You can call out to him.
Alright.
Via our mind mouths.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise right now. You can imagine there's a lot of people screaming. People are telling other ones that they're digging them out, and there's earth moving. And every once in a while, there's just a shift in the earth, and the rubble is moving. You get a sense that at some point with all the activity, the collapse of this building might get worse, and rubble may shift in such a way where you get buried again.
Okay, so can I please, I say please, can I move the earth to create a pathway out so that it's not so hard to traverse?
Okay, you're just going kind of straight up?
I would think straight up.
Okay, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Okay.
This is to determine how you move Earth such that you don't disturb the structure so much that you create another cave-in, essentially.
Gotcha. Where's my intelligence? Is it like just add the modifier?
Straight roll.
Okay, so that would be 14.
14. Okay. So that, Virgil, you're working on that. You're moving the earth. You're being very, very careful, kind of taking note as to where central support structures are, and you're trying to work around that such that you're not creating an area that's going to collapse further.
And my
So
goal
Virgil,
is to create a exit route for people that we saved to
right.
post haste.
You're essentially making that point that you and Daru kind of climb out of that hole, and you're making this kind of a central point where if you can get to that chamber, you're creating almost this these levels that you can climb on to get to the surface eventually. It's going to take you a while, but you're working on that.
Okay, that's what I'll be doing.
Okay. So Fira's helping other survivors. Virgil's doing that. Asher, Daru, Ezra, are you doing anything else?
I'm looking for Hyde.
I have no idea. I don't think I know that fear turned into a thing, so I'm still trying to
You
figure
don't.
out. Yeah, I'm still
You-
sitting there trying to get the rocks off.
Okay, so you're
Fear,
kind of
I'll
trying
get
to...
to you.
Okay, so at this point, Ezra, you get to where you heard Fira, and
Fear?
when you're in that chamber,
I'll be
you
right
don't
back,
see anything.
I'm starting to panic.
Actually, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. 16, I believe.
16.
Yeah.
After about a minute of looking around, you're like, she's either gone or so hurt that she didn't make it.
Yeah.
And you kind of look down and where you see this area of rubble, and you've been digging out as much as you can until the rocks just get too heavy, and a small little rock hits your head, and you're like, "Ah, fuck!" Not enough to cause any damage, and you look up, and you see this little badger butt that is kind of dug into this chamber again, and just kind of dug past.
I'm like, well, fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna start trying to climb back up. And if I hear anyone, I'll try to help them.
Okay. You're still trapped. You're not restrained, but you don't have free movement in this area. There's essentially a chasm where you see Virgil working on creating a pathway to get out.
Yeah, I'm hanging out with close to Virgil.
Okay. You're just kind of waiting for him to
Just
create a
kinda
movable
waiting.
path.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see the surface about 20, 15 feet up, but you don't have a clear, easy way to get there yet until Virgil is finished working. All right. Asher, are you just waiting as well?
No, I'm trying to find Hyde.
Okay. You didn't hear anything when you called out his name.
Okay.
So are you just kind of randomly picking a direction and going, or?
Well, do I know where he was plugged in orientation to where I woke up?
He was plugged in right across from you, which as you kind of get your bearings, things have moved as you've freed yourself.
Yeah.
There is a giant piece of the flooring from the floor above that is caved in right where he was.
Okay.
So he's either behind this massive piece of concrete or crushed by it.
Okay. Well, is there a way I can get to the other side of it?
Not that you can see. Unless you have some kind of creative way to... You'd have to kind of blast through concrete, basically. Unless you burrow up and around.
Can I do that?
Okay. So with your, lithe cat-like form, you can attempt to kind of jam yourself into kind of tight crevices to see if there's kind of passageways through.
Mm-hmm.
For the purposes of this, are you proficient in survival?
We did.
We're all dead.
Not yet.
No, I'm not proficient.
Okay, then just roll a general dexterity check. Straight roll.
What's going down?
Virgil, you're still moving Earth. You're getting to a point where you've just finished creating this passageway that you can now begin to climb up.
Okay.
17.
17. With that, as you jam yourself into a couple crevices, and each one comes up to a dead end. And after a while, you get the sense that there's not really any way for you to get to the area where you last saw Hyde. Unless you potentially try to get to the surface and loop back around through a different portion of the building.
Can I test this passage that I created? And then if I find it durable, I'm going to hop back down and start corralling people that that Fira is saving through the tunnel.
Okay. It's not terribly hard to get up, but go ahead and make an athletics check.
You can do it, Virgil.
Thank you. Ooh, hello. High rolls. 20 unnatural.
Okay. Virgil, you, in about not but a few seconds, you hop kind of up to one ledge, do almost a muscle up, kind of pull yourself all the way up, do it again, and one last leap. And eventually it's just this kind of steep hike to get the last 15 or so feet.
Okay.
And just like that, you look around, you see people bloodied and bruised. You now begin to hear screams of other people that are trying to get out. But you look down, the passageway works. As you look over the greater area of the sink, you do notice there's a lot of activity. From your view right now, I assume you're not actually taking a good long look.
No.
You don't see any obvious danger or anything in the area, but it does look like something happened.
Okay, priority one is to get the people from the ground to the surface.
Okay.
So I'm gonna head back down and corral those that are free from Fira to going up the tunnel.
Okay, so you're working on that. The rest of you, are you climbing out as well?
I'm climbing out.
I'm going to merge.
That's just like what?
Yeah, everyone go ahead and give me a straight up athletics check, please.
I'm climbing out. If I see Mort's in trouble or anything, I'm gonna try to help him out as well.
Okay.
14.
14?
4.
So Ezra, you make it out. Daru, as you leap to the second ledge that Virgil hit, there's another tremor in the earth. This one is not as powerful as the first one, but it still shakes the ground around you, and that ledge collapses.
Oh shit!
And you fall 10 feet.
Do I see her fall?
This is Daru.
Do I see Daru fall?
You would, yeah.
Can I go enhance ability? Cat's Grace on him.
Okay, go ahead and make an initiative check.
Okay. That'd be 11.
11. Okay. Daru, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please.
25.
Okay. So you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you land on the earth just fine, but you are just showered with rubble. You're not restrained. You kind of dived over and pushed over to one side of what is now a wall. Just after that happens, you feel extra agile as Virgil casts a spell on you.
Great. All right, so if you fall again, you're not going to take damage. But that's great.
Looking at that path you've created, there is now quite a bit of a leap that needs to be made, and the DC to get up and out is going to be more difficult.
Okay, can I do a combo of things? I'd like to stay at the bottom of the cave going out.
You didn't quite get it. You didn't quite get down as this was happening. Okay,
but I'm down now. Right.
You're at that point where you can get to that point where there's that drop. There's about a 10-foot drop that you can go down now, and that's a hard one to make.
Right? Can I just shift the earth to do another step, make it a little bit more traversable?
The range, you could potentially begin working the earth again, but you get the sense that each time you do, there is a risk of you collapsing it more as you're shifting the integrity of the entire what is already a bit of a precarious situation.
I guess what my overall goal is to get down and then keep shifting the earth but remain stationary, so that way if there's any tremors that I can coordinate with that until people get out.
Okay.
Just basically like holding up the earth almost by using spells.
So just give me an acrobatics check for getting down.
Do I have Do I have my bag with me?
Yeah.
Can I dig around and find some? Do I have rope? I think I have rope, right?
Do you have it in your inventory?
That was part of the climber's kit, right?
Okay, yeah, then you would have rope.
I'm gonna have rope, and I'm gonna just start like making knots on it, and then just feeding it down.
Okay. Virgil, what was your check?
So I rolled an 18, so that would make another unnatural 20.
Okay. Virgil, you leap about 10 feet. You land on your feet. The rock shifts ever so slightly, and you get the sense, okay, I don't want to be putting too much weight over here. So you actually do this kind of dangerous maneuver where you dive off, hit the wall, and use that momentum to almost scale your way down it. And you land very proficiently. You those of you that see this never quite saw Virgil move so acrobatically. Just as you do, you land, and there's this, as this rope hits you on the head, and you look up, and you see Ezra just looking at you.
Prince of Persia did. I smile at Ezra and give her the thumbs up as far as the rope. That's a good idea. And so I'm going to maintain the earth's integrity while people climb up the rope, I would assume. Okay.
I'm going to try to find a place to tie the rope at the end because I don't think I'm strong
enough. Yeah, easy enough. And there are a couple other helpers up there. At this point, Fira, you have corralled and kind of formed a small passageway for people to connect to the larger area where your group is. And you watch as this badger kind of makes this little hole that is eventually broken down into a larger passageway by a couple survivors, including Mort and all of his group.
Okay.
So you start loading people up on the rope one by one?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's enough people up there where they're actually helping pull people up. So in the next 20 or so minutes, you can get everyone that, between the people Fira found and between the people Virgil's kind of corralling, out of the now collapsed Honor League.
Okay.
So at this time, you are all now pulled up, and
wait, before Virgil and I go up, Virgil, can you come move some rocks? I think where Hyde was.
Is it? I'm not asking the DM. Is it just me and Asher right now at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll.
At about this time, you hear this booming voice from above just go, "Kid, kid."
What?
And there's you hear this. Someone from above you hear an impact, and what sounds like a smaller man just go as Hyde just kind of comes to the edge and just looks down. He just goes, "You okay?"
Yeah, I thought you were trapped under a giant rock.
I was.
I
got out.
Okay, we're coming up, I guess then. Thanks, Virgil.
I bow to Asher and kind of gesture for him to go up after you.
Going through it.
Nimbly
Funnily
climb
enough, Asher doesn't even use the rope. He just almost without almost like he's weightless. He just leaps and with his claws just climbs out of this thing with no problem.
Okay, then if I'm the last one, I'm gonna stop my mold earth spell so I can climb.
Okay.
Down.
As you release, you get the sense there's a shift and the earth is not going to hold for long. And as you're pulled up quickly, you watch as the area that you were in begins to fill up with rubble and dust and dirt. And it's you're pulled out as it's collapsing beneath you. And with that, you are all pulled to safety, seemingly. I'm assuming you made your way up as well in your badger form. Yeah, within your badger form, it'd be pretty easy. As Virgil's pulled up, you all kind of look around wondering where Fira is, and not through that way, but you just see this little snout begin to pull up out of the dirt in a completely different area, and this little badger kind of just climbs out and shakes all the dirt and dust off its fur and just looks up at you, Ezra, with big badger eyes.
No, I hate the badger too.
I'll revert back to normal shape and say,
Okay.
like, I'm so happy you guys made it out.
Is everyone okay?
I am well.
I think so.
What the hell happened?
With that, you see another survivor. It looks like this kind of small, somewhat elven man who looks at Hyde a little bit like he's afraid of him, and just says, something came out of the earth down by the by Fogg's Peak and just laid waste to a lot of the town. I didn't get a good look at it, but it was some kind of creature, massive.
Did it get into the government building?
It actually looked like it mainly shot a clear path north before just burrowing into the ground again.
What part of the town is destroyed?
I mean, it cut a swath from Fogg's Peak all the way up to the hill here. It actually, this is where it went back underground. And as you look down, you realize the area that you came out of is a bit of an offshoot. As you kind of look to where a lot of the survivors are huddled around, there's this large, it looks like a meteor hit.
Can you toss up a map of the sink so I can see what he's talking about?
I can do that.
Thank you, sir.
You didn't
my
let me
house
finish.
on the way.
I said I can.
What you want?
In the church.
What? What
So,
church?
Fogg's Peak is here.
Okay.
It seemingly appeared here, just from the survivors' accounts. It just,
The State House, that's what it's called.
yeah, it sounds like, and it's strange. You hear a couple eyewitness accounts, and at one point you overhear this woman kind of hysterically speaking. She says, I was just going to the market from my home, and it dove up out of the ground. I don't understand. The earth itself was barely disturbed when it came up. It didn't make a hole. It wasn't there, and then it was. And my husband, it just swallowed him whole. And then she just is hysterically crying at this point. And so at this point, someone's trying to console her.
So it popped up at Fogg's Peak and ended where? Jesus, you circled the whole thing.
So sorry, that was just me fiddling with my mouse. It popped up here and just cut a swath north. And Hunter's Hill is where you are. And seemingly the Honor League, Based on the accounts, it sounds like it literally dove into the building, collapsing it, and then it just went through the earth. Like, not making a hole, literally, like,
Went through it.
swimming in the earth.
So Skid Row is probably fine.
It sounds like Skid Row, the
Fun.
State House, was untouched.
What about my house? Is my house on the way?
Your house is on the way.
Fuck. Fira. Our house.
Oh, great.
As a note, so is Murphy's Chapel.
Wait. Well, I thought that was Murphy's Chapel was in Skid Row.
Nope. Right here.
Jesus. Okay, so
Much more.
I'm gonna go to my my friends and say I'm going to be in and tell them I'm gonna be in Muck's Wharf and give them all a camaraderie shoulder shake, and then start making my way there at top speed.
I'm gonna start following Virgil because my house is the same way.
Hey, Dario.
Yeah.
I know, like, I don't know what they're going to go check on their stuff, but maybe we could do some investigating.
Some side quests at this
At
time.
Fog's Peak.
At do you is it that important? I think we should probably keep up with Virgil, unless there's somebody you need to find.
No, I mean, me, you, and Hyde go check out where this giant thing came out of the ground. Figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume we're all gonna try and figure it out. But they gotta check on their houses and stuff. I don't have a house. You don't have a house. Hyde doesn't have a house.
We have the graveyard.
Yeah, not super big on that.
Ezra, as you note that, you do recall you did leave Asher's body in a crypt in the graveyard.
Fuck.
Oh shit.
Asher,
Yeah?
we have to bury your body.
Why?
We didn't do it last time. So it's just sitting in a crypt.
Last time?
Yeah. When you died.
What? You mean like earlier today?
Yeah.
What? But what if we can't
So we have
find
to
a way
go to
to
the graveyard anyways.
we can't find a way to put me back in?
You don't like your new body?
I didn't say that necessarily,
I mean,
but I mean that's rude.
we could try, but the reincarnation spell, I don't know if there's any way to go around that. No, you were given life back, but at a cost.
Okay. So there's no magic that can put me back.
We can ask Mamontajir.
We gave up a lot to thinking of my mythalium to bring you back. So
I'm definitely not ungrateful that you brought me back. And I mean, this is kind of cool if you like it.
that's
I was just cool. I don't know how that kind of magic works.
Ezra. Me and Asher will meet you at your home. Me, Asher, and Hyde. We'll
Okay.
try to keep in contact, but to at least find out what the hell just happened.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Quick question. Am I still able to communicate telepathically with them?
Or not.
I'm not? Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's not.
It's interesting.
I'm gonna walk over to the lady who saw the thing that came out of the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and just place a hand gently on her shoulder. I'm sorry about your husband. Did you happen to get a good look at the thing? What it looked like?
Make a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Okay. As she kind of takes you in as a stranger, and then as you give her that comfort, she just kind of nods, and it seems like she's had a bit of time to sort of get her wits about her again. She says, "Yeah, it was the color of dirt. It was brown, reptilian-like, and I've never seen anything that large, bigger than any building here. When it came up, it had a massive tail, walked on 2 feet with 2 massive claws. It was just destroying everything in its path. It was eating things indiscriminately, buildings. It would just, with a single bite, just take out an entire building and swallow it down. It was diving through the earth. I know I sound crazy, but
No, I believe you.
that's all I really saw.
Was it more like a snake or a lizard?
Like a massive lizard walking upright, claws, teeth. It had some horns as well. That's
So it
all I
had,
can say.
Like legs to walk on and like arms to grab stuff?
At this point, Asher, Hyde kind of squeezes your shoulder as though, like, we're done here. And he just looks at you and says, "Hey, kid, we got to leave town.
What do you mean?
We just got to go. I don't like this."
Where? What about our friends?
They can come too, but we shouldn't be here. Whatever this thing is, we shouldn't be here.
What are the people of this town? They could use our help.
Kid, whatever this thing is, we're not going to be able to hunt it down.
Let's Hyde, do you think we can at least follow its path before we skip town? I agree. I don't want to be here either, but we got to catch up with Virgil.
The path is clear. It seems like that lady says that it popped up in Fog's Peak, and look, and he kind of gestures over to the large crater that other people are inspecting, and he says, that's where it went. What if it comes back?
Yeah. You two do what you need to do. I'm gonna go find Ezra. I'm gonna take off towards north, following the path of destruction.
Ezra, where are you?
I'm frantically walking to my house.
Okay.
I pulled Fiero with me because I want to go check on the plants.
Okay. Go ahead
Where's our house
and go ahead and roll a d20.
It's close to number 3, right? It's close to
Muxworth.
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 Wait, what am I rolling?
A d20.
16.
Okay. So, as you walk back, you get to this long, narrow street where you take to walk home if you're coming from the graveyard. And you will see your apartment complex perfectly intact.
Oh my god.
Oh, sweet.
Just next to it, there is a large vacancy that was previously not there, as it looks like something huge literally cut a swath through these thick buildings, and there's just like a U shape of just nothing.
Oh, it sucks for those people. But our house is okay. Fira, how do you feel about seeing Maman again?
Remind me again who she is.
So fair to you, Esther Tajira is technically a druid, although she does not belong to any recognized circle. She's kind of this ecstatic druid that practices a lot of what some consider to be forbidden druidic magics. And she essentially takes up like orphans, wayward souls, anyone who doesn't have a home. She kind of creates this posse of outcasts, one of which happened to be Ezra, and kind of teaches them these old kind of pagan beliefs that most people are very uncomfortable with.
Yeah, we should go see her
We have
so we
to
can resolve Asher's dilemma.
Yeah. And also maybe she can help us with this death curse.
Yeah. On a side note, like how I would feel about her, I guess it would be like acceptance, since I don't know where most of my people are at, and if she brought up Ezra, then I'd be
right. I mean, remember her. There was an acceptance as she's a big part of Ezra's life, but there still is this kind of awkward distance between you and Esther.
Y'all just froze on me. I was like, this was a dramatic silence. I had to check what was happening.
Oh, well, we have to talk to her, figure out what's going on.
Ezra, do you think we will be able to lift the hexing curse I have on myself with her help?
Yeah. The hexing
There's
curse?
something else. Yeah, that I have through the stick.
Oh, the stick. I can actually help you with that. You know, if you don't mind being my guinea pig.
Just don't kill me.
I'll try my best. But I can do that for you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So you two, your apartment is safe. Where are you headed off to now?
Virgil is at the church. Do you want to go over there?
Yeah, we'll regroup everyone.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
go and find.
Do you want to get the rest of the group first, or just head to Murphy's Chapel?
We can get the rest of the group first.
Okay. So Asher, Daru, you two are now you were inspecting the crater. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I just walked off towards Ezra.
Okay, that's right. Daru walked off. Asher, you went to go inspect the crater.
No,
Hyde,
I'm trying to convince Hyde that we should stay with the group.
Hyde's following Daru right now
I'll follow
to kind of reconnect the group. Okay.
Yeah.
You all head to Murphy's Chapel then as you link up with Ezra, who wants to go collect Virgil. Virgil, go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
5.
5. Okay. As you go to the chapel, it pretty obviously is... It's still standing technically, but the whole front portion of it has caved in. And it's pretty obvious that something large has gone through there. And as you kind of rush up, you look inside. There appear to be a slew of people that are injured, and you see a bunch of individuals associated with the chapel kind of running around trying to heal people. One of them being Father Murphy, who looks somewhat injured, but himself well enough to tend to others. He is alive.
Oh, I'm gonna run up to Father Murphy and embrace him, hug him.
Okay. He sees you and just goes, "Oh, Virgil, thank God." You hug him, and you look him over. He's got a pretty big gash on his head, but he doesn't seem to be bothered by it whatsoever.
Can I still heal it? Regardless?
As you attempt to, he kind of covers your hands and says, "Please, there are some that are much worse off than me. I'll manage. Save it for someone else, please." And he kind of looks around, and for the first time in a long time, you do see a bit of a defeated look, as it's just like another goddamn thing in the sink. He's like, "There's just a lot more that need it more than we do.
You are right. Father Murphy, right?
Yeah.
I want to say pastor for some reason.
Well, most people just call him the Reverend.
Okay, I'll say you are right, Reverend, and I will start aiding him and everyone else where I can.
Okay. Are you just gonna blow all your what
Well, I
healing
was
you
gonna
have
actually
left?
talk to you about that, and I guess if that's the mechanic for sure, I guess I'm gonna just be blowing through the lot of
Well,
healing
you could essentially tell you what. Go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Ooh, not bad, Ricky. Let's see. That's a you're gonna hate me. It's another unnatural 20.
Damn.
Are you actually rolling the dice I got
rolling-
you?
Yeah, your
All
dice
right.
are rolling.
Glad to
pretty-
see they're treating you all right.
They're rolling pretty hot tonight.
So with that, I'll say, there's a lot of work to be done. So how long are you going to be tending to the wounded?
Oh, I'll keep
As long as it
going.
takes.
As long as it
So
takes.
with that check, over the next 3 hours, rationing out your arcane healing or divine healing as much as you can, and just really being judicious about its use, you could pretty much at least stabilize anyone that you come across. And the church is kind of being used as like a disaster relief area right now.
Right.
With 6 levels of spell slots, you could do everything you need. If you
Okay.
don't have enough, you can burn sorcery points for spell slots.
6 levels.
Do you have 6 to spare?
I'm looking right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. I can use all of my second level spells to get 6.
Okay, perfect. So with that, and then just general medicine for other things, yeah, you can stabilize everyone that is in dire need.
Perfect. That's what.
And then from there on, other people can kind of take care of them from there.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, the group, as you're in the middle of this process, your group finds you at the church. The rest of you see what he's seeing. It's a bit of a shit show. People are running around. Some people are really hurt, being kind of carried in by others. But there Virgil stands, just kind of rushing around with a very calm but focused look on his face.
I'm gonna go a ways away from the church and start setting up a shrine for the Fury, the Keeper, the Mockery, the Traveler, and the Shadow.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of take my time and set up a shrine made of sticks and different things that I find.
Okay. Are you doing this? You get the sense that if this is just out in a square, it's going to get taken down or like vandalized pretty quickly. Are you kind of hiding them?
I'll hide it, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll say, yeah, you can do that over the next hour or so.
Yeah, I'll do that while everyone else kind of does whatever they do.
I have 2 first level cure wounds and 2 second level cure wounds. Can I go ask Virgil how I can help with those?
Okay. Yeah, so Asher, as you approach Virgil with this, it won't affect how much healing you need to use, but I will say it'll drastically cut down on the amount of time it'll take to quickly get everyone stabilized if you kind of just assign certain tasks for Asher to heal. If you're willing to burn all of those slots, that would cut it down almost in half.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll gladly direct him towards
Okay.
what I need.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, with that, Asher, you're kind of walking around as well, providing healing where you can, and Hyde's just kind of watching, and just helping with things like lifting people up onto tables and things like that. And over the next 45 minutes, Virgil, Asher, you guys, and with a bit of help from Hyde, you begin taking care of those that come to the chapel. As you're doing that, Daru, Fira, is there anything you guys are doing during this time?
Can I be like helping passing out food or like supplies to people who need it?
There's a lot of tasks to be done, and even areas where there's still like rubble being moved and stuff like that. Okay, so over the next 45 minutes or so, and then, sorry, Daru, anything you're trying to do at this point?
Yeah, I guess I'm just generally being a helping hand. I don't got magic or anything.
Sure. So just staying in the church area. And I mean, like, you get the sense at some point, there comes a point where most of the hectic shit has kind of died down, and there's a bit of kind of watchful waiting, and you're just kind of waiting for Virgil and Asher and a couple other healers in town to kind of do their thing. But for the most part, it seems like the general chaos has subsided. Ezra, as you're finishing up your work, where are you placing these shrines specifically?
A ways away from the church, more toward Muck's Wharf.
Muck's Wharf is where the church is. Muck's Wharf is here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the beast came from here. You were here. The church is like the halfway point.
The halfway point, yeah. I'll place it to the nearest place. Is the church the only place that it caused destruction? Or did it cause any kind of destruction?
No, it cut a swath all the way.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick a location where it actually hit and set it up there.
Okay, so go to Fogg's Peak and find a place.
I can find a place there, yeah.
Okay.
Miles, like in terms of miles, how far is it from 5 to 10? That
would be about 1.5 kilometers.
I said miles. I don't know what the fuck kilometers are.
Because I have the map in meters, so it'd essentially be it'd be about a mile.
Someone do conversions. Oh wow, that's not that much.
It's not a terribly large town.
If you'll allow me, before I left Mort, when I saw him, I set up a telepathic connection so we can communicate within a mile.
Okay.
So I'll just let him know, like, you're not off the line for that 2,500. Meet us in the Muggies whenever you're safe and all your people are safe.
Okay. You kind of hear him go, "Whoa, this is crazy. Can you hear me?"
I can. You found your tricks, your little dance. I've got mine.
Shots fired.
No response. Okay. So, for that, I'm putting on your playlist. So with that, Ezra, as you finish up your last shrine, you do see the area where the destruction initially took place. It's strange. There's this area of what looks like cobblestone. Mm-hmm. There's just this large, like 50 by 50 foot diameter, perfect circle almost, where it looks like that cobblestone is still all there, but it's just been perfectly grinded down to gravel. But the earth is otherwise untouched. Huh. And you overhear from accounts that somehow this thing just leapt out of the earth without burrowing.
Yeah. It's so odd.
And as you're looking, as you come across that area, you see Maman Tajera just kind of playing with the gravel and inspecting it curiously, with Bastien like looking a lot more nervous than her in the periphery.
I'm gonna go down and kneel next to her. Hello, Maman.
She just looks at you. Strange times.
Do you have any idea what this could be?
There is only one thing this could be.
What is it?
You know, they say the elder gods walk among us. Some say they traveler. dresses as a mysterious man, visiting people, places, times. This would be the devouring one.
I had suspected that. Is this our fault?
No, my dear. These gods, they are just power. They do not hate, they do not have retribution. They just exist. We just find balance where we can. And with that, she just holds her hand out and says, Bastien. And he comes over and just kind of pulls her to her feet and kind of hooks her around the arm. And she says, I need a drink. And he just says, oh, Esga? And just kind of gives you a look like, you lead?
Why not? Yeah, I'll start leading them to Muggies.
Okay.
Where is Muggies? Is it? It's 4.
It's
right?
north.
It's
It's north towards. It's out of the way of the destruction.
Okay.
But it's kind of back towards the Hunter's Hill, towards the graveyard.
Okay. I just kind of want to let the group know that I'm gonna be heading to Muggies.
Okay.
So.
As you get close, that telepathic message is delivered.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any objections? Are you all headed that way?
Is my task completed with
Yes.
Father Murphy? Okay.
Yeah.
Is
At
anything
about
else?
this time, you're finishing up.
Can I go see him before I leave?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen him in quite a while.
Yeah. It's been now 3 days, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm imagining I'm exhausted and I go as well as he is. I'm just gonna go talk to him and almost out of breath, but just to check in on him.
Yeah. For the sake of brevity, he just relays that, yeah, things in the church have been going well, uneventful. Everything in the sink was just quiet until this happened. He is kind of considering how he's going to pay for rebuilding the church because he's not getting any money from the sovereignty, even though this is like the sanctioned place of worship. It's still not really funded as like most things in the sink.
Don't I have some winnings or some sort of payment from the guild that I have accumulated? I don't know if I put it in the group.
I probably spent it.
If you have any, yeah, if it is in the group funds, it's gone.
It's
Jesus,
gone.
guys.
Yeah.
All right.
We can collect at Muggy.
That's all right. I don't think I have any. Let me check my inventory, but I don't think I do.
As you're
Just
kind
my
of-
drugs and potions. That's all I got.
as you're kind of looking for anything to help with, he just relays to you. He's like, son, don't worry about me. We make do. We always do.
I look at him with somewhat saddened eyes, and I just relay to him, I will send what I can, Father.
Just kind of nods.
Okay, got a little levity here. Little jam.
Sorry, I'm.
And there goes my role playing.
Yep.
That's cool. All right, I'm out.
Okay.
Oh, I do want to say goodbye to him though, because I don't
Okay.
know. I just tell him I don't know when the next time I'm going to see him is.
Yeah. As you share this goodbye, as you turn to leave, he kind of stops you for a second, just puts a hand on your shoulder and looks into your eyes earnestly and just says, I'm proud of you, son. Truly. You've come a long way.
My eyes glisten as I embrace him back and say, "Thank you, Father, for everything."
He just nods and says, got a lot of good healers in the last couple months or so. Maybe it's time you take a sabbatical. Think about it. Just kind of gives you one last nod and kind of goes back to the church, going back to kind of doing what he can there.
I ponder for a moment before rejoining my friends.
Okay. Is anyone doing anything else before y'all head to Muggy's?
Hey, Fira.
Yes.
Hey, I can't, talk to you guys telepathically anymore. Have you heard from Ezra?
She said to meet at Muggy's,
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay. I was just wondering.
But, I'm gonna probably head home for a short rest before heading to Muggy's.
Do you want...
And I told that to Ezra, to everyone, I guess.
Do you want some company, or do you want to be alone?
I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, you all head over to Muggy's, and on the front door of this kind of old dive bar, there's just a big sign that says closed. And as you kind of knock, Daru, as you do, you knock and it opens. And you kind of peek in and look, and there's activity in here. People are drinking.
Those liars.
As you step in, you see a few patrons you don't recognize, but you see the entirety of the opposing group that you had faced in the battlescape, consisting of Lilith, Suna, Mort, and Barry, and Oriana.
Or something.
Wait, it's all of them? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go sit down at the bar with Maman and Bastion.
And they're sitting at a table, the other guys?
Yeah.
I'd like to go sit at their table.
I'll make my way over with Asher.
Okay, you go over and sit over. They're kind of scattered about. You see Mort and... Actually, Mort is sitting alone at a table. Suna is at the bar. And Lilith and Barry seem to be having like a somewhat impassioned but hushed conversation, while Oriana is kind of just listening in.
I'm definitely going to go over to the impassioned conversation.
Okay. Daru?
I'll go sit by Mort.
Okay. Virgil, what are you doing at this point as your whole group has split in this bar? Who are you going to socialize with?
I don't know why, but I first thought of Ezra, so I'll go socialize with Ezra.
Okay. So with that, the environment in the bar...
Woman.
With that, the environment in the bar is a little bit nicer than that outside, as everything is kind of calmed down a little bit. So with this, let's start with Asher. Are you getting... It seems like they're having a private conversation right now. Are you just trying to eavesdrop?
Oh, no, I don't have the best social skills because I'm a 14-year-old cat man. So I'm just going over there and like join.
Okay. As you go over, you watch as as you begin walking over towards Lilith and Barry, you see Oriana just grab your shoulder, at which point Hyde grabs her hand, and they look at each other really intensely.
Oh,
And-
nice.
And she says, "Where do you think you're going?"
Well, we had a really good game until the place crashed. I just wanted to, tell everyone good game and like kind of talk about it.
Yeah, it was a good contest. You probably don't want to. Lilith and Barry are having a private conversation right now. I'd give them their space.
Do you want to hang out and talk about it?
Make a persuasion check.
Uh, Four.
4. She looks at you, looks over at Hyde, and says, "If he buys me a drink."
I buy her a drink.
Hyde
Or he's trying to get some with Hyde.
Down to facilitate.
And with that, Hyde looks back at you, kind of curious, and then looks back at her, and she just says, "And maybe just the two of us."
I'll go hang out with Virgil. You should get a drink. Have some fun, right? And I leave. Leave him there.
Good little brother. All right. So at this point, Hyde seems wrapped up talking to Oriana they kind of are at a separate table. Oriana still at this point kind of has a keen eye. I'd say with your angle, Daru, you see this go down as well.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after this, you see this point where Barry says something, and Lilith, in this flash of movement, grabs him by the throat and picks him up off the ground ever so slightly and kind of like pushes him into the wall. She does it very discreetly, like she barely moves her arm. And Barry's just kind of like clawing at his throat, and he watches Oriana just kind of like stands up and grabs her blade, and Hyde sees this as well, and like he doesn't move, but Oriana looks like she's ready to intervene, at which point you watch as Lilith leans in and says something to Barry as his eyes go wide and his face kind of goes white, and she just releases him, kind of putting a shoulder into him to seemingly block the view of this from any other patrons. And he's just coughing violently and kind of falls to his knees as she picks him up by like the kind of collar of his shirt and forcefully pulls him to his feet, and once more just slams him into the wall before turning and leaving as though she never interacted with him.
Is that a kink thing or a little bit of infighting?
Oh no. I don't think anyone would survive having sex with that woman. These are a bunch of assholes. It's the money's good, but it's work. You know what I mean? And let's just say in this particular dynamic, Lily over there happens to be the boss, and let's just say you don't want to piss off the boss, and Barry pissed off the boss. So, it is what it is. I don't really have any problems like that. You just got to kind of be on top of your shit. So at the end of the day, like, not how I would handle it, but can't really blame her. But a deal was made, so well earned. And just kind of like slams a bit of cash down. Actually, it's an envelope, and just kind of pushes it over your way. The envelope looks very thick.
That's what I like to see.
And as you begin to pull it away, he doesn't let go. He just kind of looks at you and just goes, "What the fuck happened to you, bro?"
Yeah, I wish I really knew. It was a not a great escape, to say the least.
With that, he lets go. He just goes, so what, you some kind of psychic freak now?
Yeah, I guess so. I hold on. I reach into to the shit. Ezra, did you ever give me the disc back?
I don't know. Probably not if.
I look where the disc would be.
It's not there.
Well, fuck. We found something. Some weird crystal. And, well, that's got something to do with it. That's my only lead for what happened to me.
It's not methallium, right?
Nope. Found a good chunk of that. Yeah. Tried to bring back the kid with it. Didn't work.
Bring back the kid.
Uh,
Oh, where's the kid?
yeah. I look over to the cat. He,
Oh, shit. Really?
kinda, yeah.
So, do you guys feel safe? Or, I mean, if he ate the kid, what's to keep him from eating?
Oh,
And then he looks genuinely like concerned. Is like, as a littler person, he's like, do I make myself look bigger? Or
you're fine, Mort. You're fine. That is Asher. He died, and Ezra did some black magic voodoo shit.
oh
and
shit!
brought him back.
You gotta put a black box warning on her shit, huh? That's a hell of a side effect. Fuck. Remind me to stay dead.
I would stay away from her unless, she's our Lilith.
Yeah, I got that. She's got that, like, those soulless eyes,
Yes. But, I don't know. I have some experiments in mind for that.
Yeah, I would too.
Ezra,
Yes?
can I have the fucking disc back?
Only if you fucking ask nicely.
May I please?
And he looks over you and just goes, "Hey, I'm Mort."
Hi, Mort. Do you want a reading?
Say no.
Yes.
Friends discount.
Oh. Yes.
Okay, that's gonna be 200.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm making correct you on that reading.
$15?
15. He goes, "Look, I would, but I just got a rule. I don't pay for it, so."
All right. Well,
It was
here's
nice
the
meeting ya.
disc, and then I'm just gonna go back to the bar.
At this point, Mort looks pretty embarrassed.
I pull out the purple dust, purple powder from the shard. Yeah, something fell, sort of near our home, and I think this was it.
Well, did you identify it? What is it?
Have I ever in my life been able to identify something?
No, but you used to know someone who could, and
Yeah,
they, aka me, would do it for you all the time.
Well, hey, here you go.
I'm out of spells right now. I can't do this shit for you. But you didn't do it. You did not. You know anyone that can, dude?
It has been a hectic week. Okay, we almost died 3 times, and this thing happened. It's been a lot.
It's literally the most, like, intuitively named spell. Like, everyone calls it that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what's this thing? It's like, what a stupid question. Just identify it yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I've, good talking with you, man.
I did identify this thing, Will. It's some crazy shit.
Oh, the necklace?
As he kind of gestures to something in your pocket, he just kind of like, you didn't identify that either, did you?
Nope.
Perfect. Well, that's no biggie. You know, if you join this team, you don't need to be the brains because they've got me. So he explains to you what that item does. Sorry, I need to look it up. At this point, by the way, Fira, you would have received your short rest, and you can start making your way over to the bar.
Okay.
And those of you in the bar right now, this could also count as kind of a short rest. So at about this time, you can all make the changes of a short rest.
Sweet.
So through Mort, he kind of discusses the nature of this item. It's known as the Pendant of Wildfire. So I'll read it to you. Frayed twine suspends a pendant made of charred moonstone with a teardrop vessel of blood within. Upon donning this necklace, the blood begins to boil and perpetually combusts within its vessel. Upon attuning to or casting the spell Identify upon this item, the wearer or caster is haunted by the vision of this item's creation, which Mort has this kind of like distant look of fear, but also fascination by this thing. You do get the sense that he wanted this. It's got 2 separate curses on it.
Jesus.
The first is called the Curse of Woodland Spite. This applies to anyone that wears this if they are not a druid. So with that curse, any land with any kind of density of foliage becomes difficult terrain. So if you're walking across the lawn, that becomes difficult terrain for you.
Jesus. Okay.
The second curse is the Curse of Reckless Combustion. Any spells that deal radiant or lightning damage instead deal fire damage. Damage dealt by fire spells is increased by 1d6.
Oh, shit.
And if that roll is a 6, you roll it again and rinse and repeat.
Exploding dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
If 3 6s are rolled consecutively, there is instead an explosion of fire dealing the sum of the damage in a 20-foot radius centered on the caster. Any creatures within this radius must deal a dexterity saving throw against the spellcaster's DC or suffer this damage.
Oh.
And finally, it has another bonus called Acolyte of Fire, which you learn the cantrip Control Flames, and you can cast it as a bonus action.
Neat.
Okay.
Neat.
Wish we had a
Would this
druid.
would work? This would work with Green Flame
So we
Blade.
wish you had a druid.
Yeah.
It would.
Right. Well, Fear is already. Does anybody know about the curse on Fira?
So pretty much like every long rest that I have to reset all of my spells unless I like
Oh shit. Hey, Fira.
curse someone while they're sleeping, but I have to touch them.
That was the gist of what you remembered Fira telling you when you would discuss like the nature of her cursed item.
Okay.
At this point, Fira, you do walk in and you see Ezra with Esther and Asher and Virgil all kind of sitting at the bar talking to each other. At this point, you see Bastien. Asher at this point is kind of showing you a couple of these charms that he's made of like the different of the elder gods and kind of explaining to you the general like pantheon
Love
of
it.
the Dark Six.
So
I'll walk over to Ezra and the whole group.
Okay.
Hey, Fira.
Hello.
So you're hanging out there. Daru, is there anything else you wanted to cover with Mort as I move on to someone else real quick?
No, I'll just buy him a drink. I'll buy drinks for us.
Okay. You guys. So you guys are just kind of drinking together, catching up.
And I'll attune to the item.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you can go ahead and
the difficult terrain.
I will add that to
When
your
I-
inventory.
When I bonus action dash, I'm pretty sure difficult terrain doesn't affect me. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, though. Maybe that's a different.
That sounds like a spell.
I'll double check that, though.
I love how Pierce just gets something cursed. He's like, "We'll tune to it."
Fuck yeah, I tuned it.
Okay.
I mean, I see where he's going with it. Well, if it comes out in combat, I think he could be onto a certain build here. I've added it to your inventory, Pierce. If you refresh your D&D Beyond.
Got it.
Okay. So Fira, as you approach, you see Esther, Ezra, and this whole group. At this point, Esther looks at you and says, good to see you coming to lay back a little bit. Can I get you a glass of wine, perhaps?
Can you get some coffee instead?
A wine and a coffee, please. And with that, the bartender serves you both a glass of wine and a cup of coffee.
Okay. I take the coffee and I take the wine.
Okay. So, do you have anything specific you're talking about with Miss Esther, Ezra, Fira, anyone?
Yeah, we owe you, Maman.
She says, this is true.
Any favors you need us to do?
Yes. And she kind of looks around and just says, there is some people I would like you to find. Maybe we will start slow. In times past, I was one of 6 powerful mages that made up a cabal. We were called the Cabal of the Elder Gods. We have not met in almost 100 years. I think it is time that we reconvene.
Okay.
How old are you?
He kind of looks curiously to the small tabaxi, and she says, you should know, little one, a lady never tells.
Yeah,
But in this body,
I'm a pretty curious cat.
I have inherited for about 70.
Okay.
And there have been many vessels before. Just as you will have many vessels to come.
Like, I'm not gonna die?
Oh no, you will die. You will just always be one with, and at this point she kind of gracefully opens her arms a little bit, one with the material.
Okay. Am I like Is my soul connected to the traveler now?
It is not connected to the traveler. You are now attuned to this plane. So you will have no afterlife. You will only have life and death and life again.
So my spirit will not rest?
Well, do you not find rest when you close your eyes at night? Or when you experience something that makes you feel at home? This is the natural way.
Okay.
I can see we may have much to discuss, little one. Perhaps we can set aside time to talk, just you and I.
Yeah, that'd be good.
For now, let's get business out of the way. Ezra, you do owe me, as I did bring this one back.
You did.
I need you to find someone. If I'm being honest, you are not the only reason I came here. There is a witch that used to be part of this cabal. She represented the Devouring One. This title was recently let go, and I have not met the new owner. Initially, 2 sisters held these positions. One to represent the Devouring One, and one the Fury. The one that represented the Devouring One, her name was Rachel. She had since left to go pursue her own selfish means. The title then passed to one they simply call the Pyromancer. I need you to find this one and convince her to meet with me.
Okay. She's in the sink?
Loosely in this area. I suspect somewhere within the woodlands to the north.
Do you have a description of what she looks like?
From what I hear, just follow the flame.
It's not scary. Okay.
I think we can handle it.
The only other piece of information is that I hear that some of the old forest druids, and she looks over at you, Fira. I hear that she has taken a subsect of that group and formed a new circle, one of fire. Perhaps if you find this group, you find the Pyromancer.
Do you know anyone in particular that had joined the group?
I figure you would know better than me. I do not follow the circles, you know that. Especially since they split. But with that, she kind of nods down the bar and says, perhaps you may find someone else that has information. As you look down the bar, you see Suna, who was the one that you battled against, who was also a Circle of the Forest druid.
Okay.
So he's from your old clan.
Can I make eye contact with him?
he looks like fucking done. He's that guy at the dive bar that's just leaning forward, looking down into what looks like the remainder of his life at the bottom of a glass.
Well,
I'm gonna look
I
over
feel
at
discouraged
Fira.
after seeing that.
I'm gonna hand her some of my liquor, whatever I'm saying, and say, "Come on, go, talk to him."
Okay.
Some liquid
Hoping
courage.
that would encourage him. Maybe spill out some secrets. I go his way.
Okay.
Can I speak with, how do you say her name? Mama Mir?
Yeah, Mamma Mia. That's right. We'll get back to you, Fira. Virgil, you want to approach the Maman or just Esther if that's easier?
Maman.
Come on.
Mamma mia.
Mama Mia.
Here we go again.
I imagine with my sexy V-neck, my tattoo is exposed.
It peaks a little bit.
All right, I'd like to address that with her. I go up to her and say, I give her a bow. You say Esther, right? Esther?
Mhm.
Okay, I go with Esther. Is there anything more you can tell me about? And I gesture to the tattoo.
She says, "You may find the influence of the Fury more prominent
Why do you reference her as the Fury?
because I see it in your eyes. I can tell you hold it back. She is not Fury herself, but Fury is everywhere.
Is there anything more you know about her?
I do not know the one of which you speak. I'm afraid not all demons come from ear. And I suspect this is especially true with yours.
Thank you for your time, Esther.
She kind of gives you a nod and gently just places her hand over yours and squeezes it a little and then lets go.
I smile at her and then bow and depart.
Okay.
Can I talk to Maman whenever?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to be a little bit discreet, but I want to kind of ask her, Maman, what do you know about death curses?
She says, Esga, you do not want to learn about these things. This is magic that I do not want my little girl using.
It's a little too late for that, Maman.
Oh,
We were
Was it
death
a man?
cursed.
oh, I understand.
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Here, give me your hands. And she holds your hands.
Okay. Put my hands out.
Luckily for you, this is one of the weaker forms of this magic. But I'm afraid nothing I can do. She relays to you the gist of the curse. This is the curse of an ill-timed fate. Basically, anyone touched with this just means that it means that while they are living, things will kind of be stacked against them. Everything's going to be a little bit more dangerous. Seemingly normal situations sometimes will have a wildly dangerous turn. So it's kind of like a very lightweight version of like Final Destination.
Okay. Guess we can handle it.
So
That's unlucky.
it's not. It's one that people still live very long lives, but it's just generally you're very danger prone.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Wait, do we all have that curse?
Just
Good
you, man.
question, man. Does
Oh,
I think we all do, right?
Well, I died already.
Yeah, does Ashley still have it?
It doesn't transfer.
Here to relate to you that the curse is one of the soul.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
well.
Damn it.
Damn it.
This is something that can be removed if you can find a very high leveled healer, but nothing that Esther can do about it.
Okay.
I'll be that one day.
Remove curse.
Like Ash Ketchum. One day.
Well, yeah. We can handle it, right? What do you think, Virgil?
I think together we can do anything.
I agree.
Amon looks at you kind of curiously, nods, looks at Asher down the table, and then back to you, nods, and goes back to her drink.
Gonna go back
Fira.
to my drink.
Okay. After a bit of awkward silence, Fira, you approach. As you approach this man, what you see is a very grizzled individual. His arms are thick, muscled, and very kind of sun-worn. He's human and kind of seems to be older in his years. Thick, matted white hair that's kind of wrapped up into a kind of Viking-like ponytail with a long, thick beard. As he looks like he's haunted by memories as he's staring down into this glass.
And he was from my circle previously?
Yes.
Okay, so I know him, a bit of him.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know him a bit. He wasn't someone that you were particularly close with. His name was Suna.
Okay, so I go up to him, I'm like, brother, and I bring out the liquor and I'm like, can I join you?
He kind of barely looks over and just says, "What do you want, girl?"
Do you remember me at all?
I know who you are.
Well-
Fira Akiba.
Right. How have you been since we all separated? Like, where have you gone? What have you seen?
He looks at you and just says, "Well, after your father led our people into death and ruin, bringing us into a war we had no stake in, I do this," and kind of gestures over towards Lilith and the rest of his group. And he just says, "Fighting, bleeding for these urbanites. And for what?" He pulls out of his pocket this tiny wad of cash and just kind of roughly places it down on the table. "For paper. This paper that quantifies my worth, my freedom. Paper that I send to the few remnants of our people for bread created by wizards with foul magic. But I'm one of the lucky ones."
I would say like I have an irritated look because he's like bashing my dad, but at the same time I'm like, don't you long for us to regroup, to come back to our glory how we were before?
When was the last time you were with us?
You're
The
the
circle
first.
is gone. He says, well, allow me to bring you news from the north. Winters grow harsher. We are driven further and further south, to the point where a living is not one that can be made in the woods any longer. And with that, he kind of... At first, there was this look of anger, as seemingly he'd recognized you earlier, and it seems like he's had a lot to say. And now his shoulders just kind of slump, and that aggressiveness kind of fades into a bit of defeat. And he just says, perhaps we were doomed before the war. We are people of stone and clay, living in a world of steel. And with this, he, in a swift motion, just slams the bar with his fist and just says, and fucking paper.
So now I feel like you just have to go as nature and accept defeat at times. But like, as things get burned in the forest, there's new growth. So I saw that, like, when I saw you, we could possibly remake ourselves again. And I hear there's a witch, actually, who has brought together some of our brothers and sisters. Does this intrigue you?
He looks over at you as you said that first thing you said, looks over at you and kind of scans over your group. As you bring up the witch, his look once again kind of coldens. He says, she did not bring us together. She corrupted us. She killed us. And with that, he kind of holds forth his arm, and you see a brand on his forearm. And he just says, I'm one of the ones that left, but not before she gave me this. Stay away from her, Fira. The salvation she offers is not one that you would be interested in.
I'm not interested in joining her. I'm looking for a few of our circles. My teacher that I had, I've been trying to find him. And also, I don't know if you knew if Derlin was part of that group, as well as like others from my circle. If they're possibly joining her sect, then maybe I could try to, I don't know, refract them somehow or save them.
You and Derlin were close.
We were. He was one of our best potion makers, I would say.
Make an insight check.
8.
8. He just says, well, he was a brave man. I would not have escaped if it were not for his heroics.
I get like flustered. I'm like, whoa. So thinking in my head, like, he's there then, most likely. And with that, I just feel like I've had enough, or I bothered Suna enough, and I bow and I leave.
Before you do, he reaches out and grabs your hand. And let's go, just kind of wanting to stop you, kind of realizing the awkward situation this is. And he's got this kind of sorrowful look in his eye, and he just says, I hope you find your teacher and your friend. But you would have my advice. Perhaps do not hold out for hope. If you are looking for this pyromancer, look to the north, where those that used to be our people have been corrupted by fire. They burned a swath through the woods there. Should be easy to find.
I take note. And I leave him to his drinking.
As you walk away, you don't see this, but any of you who have kind of been keeping an eye on this conversation, especially after he loudly slammed the bar with his fist, you watch as he looks more sad and more defeated and more hopeless as after his conversation with Vera.
I think he liked you, Fira.
At this point, Daru, you've been having a conversation with Mort. He kind of goes over, he talks a lot about himself. He talks about, graduating early, kind of taking a year off to explore the world, talks about the job offers he's got through the sovereignty and to become alumni at the college, or faculty at the college. And at this point he just goes, by the way, little birdie gave me something for you. Pushes an envelope towards you.
Slide it over. Let's open it up.
Pretty obvious. Make an investigation check.
21.
21?
Yeah.
It is, as you open it, it looks empty. You do notice it looks like this letter has been opened and closed again. There is a little business card on the inside.
Is this a joke? Read the business card.
The business card says Eldridge Tomes. It appears to be a bookstore in Mag City.
Okay.
Some old guy gave it to me, said he was family or something. Knew you were alive, that's how I knew.
Huh.
Really creeped out by how he found me. Never met any of your family. But
Well, it got here, so
seemingly was confident that our paths would cross.
thank you.
So who is that guy? Taller, old as fuck,
Is
kind of.
Can I make any connections?
As he describes the individual, he describes it as a elderly man with kind of long, frazzled white hair. Describes the dress, the demeanor, and he describes him as having At one point in the conversation, he describes that his eyes just went jet black completely. It sounds like your uncle. Other than the jet black eyes and the general demeanor, you recall your uncle as like a very feeble and often confused old man. He described this as somebody that was intimidating and focused. But other than that, it sounds like your uncle.
Right. Well, thank you, Mort.
He said something about bringing you home.
Yeah, I think we might be making our way up there eventually. We're going to, I think. Glad you found me, though.
Well, yeah. Hey, listen, so, did you think any more about my offer?
Yeah, about that. I think I've got too many ties to these people now. And I kind of want to see it through. It's not like
Sounds
you're
complicated.
not like you're going anywhere.
Yeah. With that, he kind of gives you this look of like, you patronizing me? But doesn't say anything. He goes, well, your loss, brother, I'm telling you. Money's good. Probably a lot better than whatever it is you're doing with these folks. So,
It's a little bit split.
offer's still on the table.
I'll keep it in mind.
You know, again, it's just work, right? Just keep it in mind. All right, and with that, he just kind of knocks on the table and just says, see you around, man. Maybe next time I won't go easy on you, and we'll, maybe I'll win that little pendant back.
Keep dreaming. And I'll
He
walk
just
away
kind
to the rest of my
of
group.
gives you one last nod. Yeah.
Tap on
Mort
the shoulder.
heads out. Yeah. All right, you head back to the rest of the group. At this point, it looks like most of the bar is clearing out. You watch as Lilith and actually just Lilith alone. Barry had already left. None of you noticed, but Lilith begins to walk out by herself. Yeah. What are you all doing for the rest of the evening?
How's Hyde doing?
Hyde's over. It seems like he's having a discussion with Oriana. They look like they're both kind of leaning forward, like they found some kind of common ground or something like that, and they're just like deep in a conversation.
Awesome. Into it. If I could talk to Momo tonight before we like a long rest, I'd be into that.
Okay. For the purposes of both keeping some things close to the chest, you and I will talk separately
Okay.
off the Zoom call.
Okay.
As it likely won't relate to anything in the next day or so. It's just going to be general information about the Elder Gods and what your reincarnation might mean.
Okay.
So you are all... Is there anything else that anyone's doing before you take a long rest?
No, I'm good.
Good.
Okay.
I think.
Should we make our way down?
Do you guys make your way down to the Night's Take?
Well, I'm asking, yeah.
Or are we going back to Ezra's
Okay.
place?
Yeah, whichever you guys want.
Well, I mean, we have to still take the long rest, right, before we go to the Night's Take?
Technically, you have rooms there that you can use. Or they're more like general rooms that people can use, but last time there were some aside for you.
We could just go to the
It's up
Night's
to
Take.
y'all.
I mean, we're already here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So you guys go to the Night's Take. Up in the as you arrive, you find that there are rooms available for you to stay. You might not exactly get the same room you had, but it'll be a place to stay. It's pretty dead in here. You don't see the proprietor of the little the little store they had. You do see Jack up on the second story, kind of overlooking the whole guild hall, as he's kind of doing some paperwork with a bottle of whiskey. Other than that, it's quiet. You guys have access to your rooms.
I'll see you all in the morning. I'm gonna go lay down.
Bye, Daru.
All right.
I too.
But before I go to sleep, I'm gonna read that burned book that I found, though.
Which one specifically?
I only got one. I never got any details on it, and there were two others that burnt to a crisp before I could get them. Or I got the pendant.
So as you begin opening it and flipping through the pages, it is in a language that you do not understand. It was similar to one of the other journals that you saw. The markings.
Oh, okay. I'll save it for Fira later and close it and go to bed.
Yeah. Okay.
And I gotta go back.
Did Hyde come with us?
No.
All right. I'm gonna go to my room and take a long rest.
Okay. All right, you can all make the changes for a long rest after a long day.
Can I try something?
Yeah.
I don't think I've tried to do this before. Can I meditate and put my right hand on my chest on the tattoo and try to get in contact with Rizel?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a wisdom check.
Okay.
Ruh-roh.
Wisdom. 14.
14. After concentrating, it seems like you take about an hour of this. And you just feel alone. It's strange. It's almost frustrating after spending so much time trying to keep her away that now that you're trying to reach out, there's just silence. And it's pretty discouraging. And just as you're about to give up, you sense this overwhelming feeling of being overpowered. And your heart rate just begins to shoot up, and for a second you almost feel like your body's not your own. And you just hear this like exhalation within your head. And you sense a presence.
I'd like to show a little bit of fortitude to kind of meet this force head on and reach out and ask Rizel. That's a question mark, kind of calling around.
You just hear her kind of sinister voice just go, yes. We're on speaking terms now? Is that it? Have you thought about what I said after killing that poor boy?
The speaking terms are a start. I wish to discuss for the first time why you are here with me and I with you.
Well, neither of us have a choice in the matter. It seems that our souls were linked. I guess in that regard, we're both unlucky. You get paired with an angel that has fallen from grace. And me, I get paired with a coward.
Why?
I suppose the gods have a sense of humor.
Why do you think I am a coward?
Because you would not raise a hand against those that wish to hurt you.
It takes...
I watched your brother beat you nearly to death.
Sometimes it takes more bravery to lower the hand than to raise it. A lesson you have not learned in your existence, Rizel.
With that, I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Not the best, but not the worst. 17 total.
17. It's strange. Within your eyes, you just see this blinding vision of a warrior female form with angelic wings shooting out. It's not there in the room with you. It's almost as though this was burned onto your retina. You are not blinded by this, but even for you, it's off-putting to see the awesome form of apparently what is this fallen angel. And with that, her voice seems to boom throughout the room. And you watch as there's a kind of upright clock on one of the, like one of those hanging clocks on the walls that actually falls off and shatters on the floor. And she says, "There was nothing brave about taking a beating from that worthless insect that is your brother. There's nothing brave about watching your companions fight your battles for you.
Quit jerking it.
There was nothing brave about you allowing inaction to kill that kid. And with that,
Go ahead.
it's just, as it's difficult to maintain your composure in the sense of just the overpowering nature of this presence. And as she's seemingly getting worked up with this, you feel that anger in your own chest.
I think with this anger, I'd like to, if I can, display my power and or our power with my arms outstretched like this from the side,
Okay.
but not take any action to harm her.
Okay.
To show that restraint actually does have a lot of bravery in it.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. It's essentially a way to show fortitude. Wisdom save?
Mhm.
So, 16.
16? Okay. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, you're pretty much transforming to display that that you can go right to that edge without crossing it.
That I have the power
So
to
with
stand
that-
up, yeah, but I don't need to.
With that you stand, and these jets of radiant fire shoot out from both your shoulder blades, as though it's like an open wound where wings were ripped off. And once again, everything has this kind of burning filter to it, as there's just radiant fire shooting from your eyes. And you feel the urge to just lay waste to everything in your path right now, but you just stand there doing nothing.
I like to shout
And with
out.
that,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, just with that, you sense, like, for a second, Rizel is kind of quieted, as there's this excitement and anticipation, and she's just waiting to see what it is you're going to do.
I'd like to point straight at her and ask her, is power your only purpose, Rizel?
With that, she says, "It is not the power, but what you do with it. You could be a great force for good. Together, we could lay waste to forces that would corrupt and destroy things that you hold dear."
And then what, Rizel?
You could be one of the Scourge. We could win this war.
I looked somewhat confused. What war are you referring to?
With that, you almost hear an echoing laugh as you begin to sense her presence leaving you. And with that, prematurely, that radiant fire within you begins to fade to but a flicker. And at this point, almost like someone just speaking at the end of a hallway, you hear her just say, "The only war." And she's gone.
I'd like to lower my hands, smile, and say out loud, but almost like a whisper, "I am not done with you, Rizel. And I suspect, nor are you with me. Sleep well." And I like to withdraw.
Okay. You drop form.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Can I talk to Jack
So-
before we go to sleep?
Yep.
Just gonna make my way up there. Hi, Jack.
Hey, it's very late. How did you fare, Miss Hemlock? You look no worse for the wear.
Doing pretty good, actually. That thing that came into the city, it hit us while we were in the arena.
I placed a sizable wager on that fight.
Who do you think was gonna win?
Well, looks like I did.
Yeah, it looks like you did. I wanted to apologize for what I did with Asher. I feel like it upset you for a good reason. How's your sister doing?
He just kind of stopped and says, "Look, it's not my business, all right? I get that circumstances are, it's not my place to judge or just, yeah. We don't have to talk about this. She's
Well,
good.
I just wanted to let you know that we brought him back. He looks a little different, but
I've seen, and remember, I was there. I watched the fight. I pieced together kind of what I could, so I figure the less I know, the better.
it's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Cordana's doing well. She's wants to be like you, running around doing jobs and throwing herself into danger.
When are you going to let her?
I'm gonna keep her from it until, until she can kill me. Which might be soon.
You know, Jack, if she's anything like me, you're not going to be able to stop her. Maybe it's
Yeah,
better
I
that
know.
she be prepared.
Believe me. Oh, she's plenty prepared. Just reckless. And listen, you're not taking my sister anywhere.
I'm not going to take your sister.
The two of you together just wouldn't be fair.
All right. Well, good night, Jack.
So what are you doing? He goes, why are you back here?
We were at the bar. We decided to stop by and maybe. Well, it's just safe down here.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about all this sooner, but I'm not running a bed and breakfast. So in the future, if you're looking for a place to crash, maybe stop by and do some business. I could certainly use a group as capable as yours.
Might look for some jobs. We just have
Sure.
some stuff to take care of first.
All right. Good night, Miss Hemlock. And just kind of puts some glasses on and begins getting back to his work.
Okay. I'm gonna go and to the room and just go to sleep now.
Okay. You can all make the changes for a long rest.
Thank the Lord.
Wow.
Oh, my spells are back.
Hell yeah, look at that.
I had exhaustion. Damn.
Oh yeah, how's High doing in exhaustion? He had like 600.
Depends on whether or not he gets a long rest tonight. He should have caught up to it by now.
He's busy getting tails. God dang it.
So as you all come to, the day is yours. What is it that you would like to do?
First thing in the morning, I want to find Fira. I am excited today.
Ironically, I want to do the same.
Okay. Fira, there's a knock on your door.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted, Fira.
Okay, I'm like half asleep and open the door, pretty grouchy. I'm like,
I'm
what?
gonna slam that shit open.
What?
Oh, Ezra, I assume you're here for what we talked about yesterday.
I'm gonna slam the door behind me. Yes, I am. And I'm very excited.
Wait, what about Daru?
There's a knock on your door again.
Oh.
And I open it, I'm like, oh, okay, more. Welcome.
Hi, Daru.
Hi, sorry, didn't mean to intrude. I'll just pull out the book.
You guys leave the door open?
I
I'm
just
gonna
hand.
Close it
I
behind
go
us.
in. No, I go
Okay.
in and hand Fira the book. I think you might have more use for this than me. Sorry, and I just back out.
Okay.
Okay, I look at it and it's in what language?
Druidic.
Okay. What do I see?
It's hard to make out, and as you're kind of looking through it, there's another knock on the door.
What's going on? And I open the door.
You open it. You see a familiar half-elven, kind of dark-haired, slick back with some jewelry. This is the bartender. You recall he introduced himself as Night Raptor.
Oh yeah.
He goes, hey, people in this kind of work tend to sleep in a little bit, so if we could not be slamming doors early in the morning, that'd be really cool. I hate to have this conversation, just be, we're all adults here, just,
I'm like glaring at
Your
Ezra,
lack of
I'm like,
response to me right now is like a little like rude and just. Can you just say yes? We're not gonna slam doors anymore.
Okay.
Slam the door in his face.
You slam the door in his face.
No, I like pretend I'm gonna slam it, but then I don't. I just.
Did Daru leave?
You.
Yeah.
After a long pause, you hear footsteps walk away.
Well, I wanna go.
Yeah, Daru left.
And peek out and say, "Wait, Daru, do you want to stay for this?"
Sure. Yeah.
You-
if it's not a
Daru's
private
gone.
conversation.
It's Night Raptor.
Oh.
Daru walked out like.
Well, I was trying to get
45
to Daru.
seconds ago.
I was trying to talk to Daru before he walked out.
Okay, so as you go like brush past him, go grab Daru, come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I go into the room.
Motherfuckers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna sit down, and for the first time ever, I'm gonna use a remove curse.
First
Whoa.
time
Hope nothing
ever.
happens.
Okay, this better not hurt.
Okay.
I don't know if it hurts. First time doing
Is there,
it.
am I your guinea pig or something?
I'm gonna refocus.
Yes, you are. Daru, if
Trying
you
to
need
refocus
to.
my camera, James.
And then I'm gonna start remove curse.
As you cast the spell, you clutch this kind of ruined goat skull that Fear is holding on to, and there is this cacophony of whispered shouts and whispered screams, and then as the shadows in the room begin to extend in this crescendo of this ungodly chorus, there is this moment of just nothing but silence, and Fear, you instinctively let go, and the skull just clatters onto the ground and kind of rolls away awkwardly, and you have been unattuned to the hexing stick.
Cool.
I
See,
think
that
it
didn't
works.
hurt, right?
Nice.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
What are your plans with it?
What?
What are your plans with it?
But I was gonna use it.
Oh. Well, have fun.
Thank you, Fira. And then I'm just gonna walk out of the room and go back and attune to
Okay.
this thing.
Okay. All right.
Before Daru leaves,
Why did
Did
I
you
need
want
to
me
be here for
to-
that?
In case anything bad happens.
Okay.
before Daru leaves, did you want me to read this for you right now?
I mean, I'm kind of curious what's in it. Yeah, I figure it's something related with those fire demons.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I looked through the book, and what do I read? What do I see?
It's funny. So, Daru, when you initially opened the book, you just kind of opened it at the middle to kind of see what language it was in. It was Druidic. Fira, as you're paging through, the first bunch of pages seem to be burned away, but the text that is burned away is not Druidic. It is a language that you have seen before. This is Goblin. But so much of it is burned away that you can't make out the actual nature of it. As you get to the portion that begins in Druidic, this is an account of an individual that is almost in a kind of psychotic way talking to themselves through the journal. The story begins with kind of nonsensical ramblings, just speaking of salvation through fire and being reborn and being saved by a woman wreathed in flame. As you kind of, it's difficult to keep track of as the language is broken in addition to the tome being burned, but in multiple places, it references casting away his old name and becoming the right hand to the Mistress of Flame under the title The Burned One. It describes bending flame to his will, and it describes being bestowed power by this, what he describes as his goddess. And as you kind of go through the book, it's really, that's about all you get that actually makes sense. The rest of it is literally just ramblings on, again, just being saved by fire, and just like almost poems that are just worshiping flame and this woman.
Yeah, this seems like Diary of a Madman or something. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Was Fira sort of translating aloud for me?
Oh,
Were you?
yeah. Everything you said, pretty much,
Okay.
I related to him.
Okay, you would relay.
Yeah.
Is there candles in this room?
Candles.
Mhm.
I snap my fingers.
Yeah, there's candlelight.
And the candle snuffs out. And I snap my fingers again, and the candle relights. And I just sort of use this new power to make the flame grow a little bit brighter, and then dim down, change color. Well, I mean, I found this necklace on a burned corpse. I guess it really was a burned one.
Wonder if you could find any connections to that. What it made it seem like a goddess to him.
Yeah, I think we know where to go for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go get
Here's
some
your
food.
book.
I do not want it. I do not grab it.
Oh, what do you want me to do with it?
Burn it for all I care.
Okay. Just leave it on the bed. Then.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else your group wants to do?
While they're playing translator, I would have wanted to go back upstairs to the room where I had been throwing knives with
Okay.
assuming that I could get back there.
Yeah, you can get back there.
Okay. And I'd like to just practice throwing my knives up there.
Okay.
I would like to. Is there a library of sorts?
Not here. There were a few scattered tomes and things, but you get the sense that was all more for sale situation.
Is there a cleric or a religious figurehead?
As you look over, you do see the figure of the kind of 16 or so greasy teenager that mans the counter, going by the name Brassberry.
Okay.
Just wearing like a...
Who the fuck
He's
is
wearing
Brassberry?
shorts. He was the guy that you spoke to personally multiple times in the take when you were purchasing goods. This time he appears to be wearing what looks like this very expensive regal like silk robe with it's open, and he's got like gym shorts underneath. So at certain angles it just looks like he's not wearing anything. And then with that he's got long socks with slippers.
So this is the merchant, and now he's dressed like a priest.
No, he's dressed like
Somebody just-
Hugh Hefner after he lost everything in his divorce.
And why would you bring him up when I'm asking about a religious figurehead?
Because you were asking about someone who's in charge of the books.
Oh, okay. Oh,
You get the sense the books are part of the merchandise.
Okay,
There's no open library. This is a thieves guild.
I took me a minute.
There's
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. Okay,
Yeah.
let me go up to Mr. Burry.
Okay.
Well, I don't have any money.
Hello there.
God dang it! Everyone took my money.
So you walk up to him. He just says hi to you, and then you remember you don't have any money.
Well, maybe. Okay, I'll just talk to him anyway. I'll turn back around.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Come back. Yes. Can I help you?
Mr. Barry, I am looking for
Yeah.
a book
Uh-huh.
on
What kind of book?
fall
Yeah.
angels. Fallen angels.
What? I don't have that. I got spells. I've got a really expensive book that makes you a little bit more. Other than that,
What's
I don't
that?
know. Try a library, friend.
I put my hand on his shoulder and squeeze it.
As
a
you do,
little
he's
tightly.
He tries to take it off as he's pinching at your hand. He's like, "Ooh, no."
I just look at him and I say, "We will, friend." And I should give him a little shove, and I turn around.
You kind of shove him a little bit, and he goes, "Yeah, no sweat off my back." All right.
Rejoin
Okay.
the peeps.
All right, you rejoin the beeps. All right.
What a life.
I've been attuned. I'm gonna take as much time as I need to attune to this
Yeah.
thing.
You can do that as he's been harassing the merchant, and Asher's throwing knives, and Daru's practicing his magics.
Okay.
If everybody reconvenes, I'll split up the 2,500 between us all and individually give. Let's see, I can do math. Give everybody $416, and then I'll keep 417.
Okay. Everyone can add that money to their inventory.
416, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So with that, the day is yours. Your items have been attuned to. What is it you would like to do?
I mean, do we head north?
I think so.
Yeah.
Ezra, earlier you mentioned going to Mag City. Was that for Esther, or was that for something else?
That was for Esther.
They all think I'm dead there now. I wouldn't mind stopping by if we're in the area, if we're heading north.
Maybe we could take a job from Jack. Get into Mag City easier.
Yeah.
He could get us in. Maybe
Is the witch?
What was that?
Stephanie? You just said is the witch?
Is the witch that Esther was talking about north of us?
Yeah.
Is that where we're heading? Okay.
The witch, from what you recall, is in between Mag City and the Sink.
Okay.
So yeah.
Maybe see if Jack has any business that needs done, anything ran to Mag City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do it. So I guess we'll find Jack.
Okay. You go upstairs and you see Asher throwing knives, and just a little bit down the way there's Jack's kind of space where he overlooks. You all approach.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over and just says, and I hope you all had a fine night's rest. What is it that I can do for you?
Any jobs in Mag City that you would need help with? We're going to be heading north into the forest, and maybe we can knock two birds with one stone.
Yeah, it's funny you ask. I actually do, which is not very uncommon, but I've been known to do a lot of business out of Mag City. Um, we've got someone in the sink, a new arrival, as it were. Um, I don't know if you've heard of the name Spinelli. Daru, you definitely have.
Oh.
Spinelli is the name of the almost undisputed, kind of until recently, but mostly considered to be the undisputed company that creates the fastest and most prized automobiles. It'd be essentially like the equivalent of like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini.
Okay.
Seeing your recognition, he continues, well, old man Spinelli had gotten into a bit of trouble with money, a few bad business deals, and like the rest of us degenerates, ended up here in the sink. Seemingly, he's got a score to settle, presumably with someone that caused the downfall of this business, and he needs some unsavory work done back at one of his old factories. Something about sabotage, destroying a plant or a vehicle, something or other that used to be his that he doesn't want to be reverse engineered by a competitor. And like many things, this is not exactly legal, so nothing you do is to be traced back to the guild, and obviously, once you're out there, I can't do much to protect you.
Okay.
Is this something you're interested in?
I
I'm
think
down.
that sounds
All right.
enough.
Sounds good. You should go speak with Ludwig, his assistant. I'll let him know you're coming. He's by the Hunter's Hill.
Okay.
Okay.
You can't miss it. They're setting up a racetrack.
We saw that.
All right, Captain. Can handle it.
Not your captain anymore. Be safe. Take care of that guy. Kind of pointing at Asher.
All right.
So you guys head out?
I have to buy maybe. I'm gonna buy some ingredients before we leave.
Okay. What is it you would like?
2 basic bombs.
Okay.
And
Basic bombs.
unless there's a discount, it's 150.
Yeah,
And
there is no discount.
Okay.
Did you mean to pull up the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Did something change?
Yeah. It's showing all your contact information.
Social security number.
Yeah.
Bank
Bank
account.
account.
What's up?
All right.
2 bombs, a pound of steel fibers,
Okay.
and Lucent aspect. Oof, never mind. And make that 3 bombs and steel fibers. And that's it.
Okay. How many? And do you have the prices for those?
Steel fibers are 75 or
$10 a pound.
$10 per pound.
Yeah.
75, 150. So that's 250 for the bombs. 260. I'll buy 2 pounds of steel fibers, so 270 in total.
Okay.
Is there like plastic explosives, like a C4 type thing?
You ask about that?
Yes, I'm asking the weird kid at the shop.
Okay.
Bearer.
Yeah, Barry will sell you essentially what is plastic explosive. That's going to be $1,000 a pound.
I'm not.
Now a pound is a shitload.
Yeah, no. I also have another question regarding said plastic explosives. Obviously, there's some kind of ignition device that can maybe trigger it.
It's usually one of the reasons it's so expensive. It's actually programmable. So it's like remote detonation, and you can essentially, it's like putty that you could program each little bit of it.
Is it something I could wirelessly set off with my glove? Should I program it to? Okay, so let me. Shit. Yeah, a pound. That's a lot. Like a quarter.
Quarter pound.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he sells in bulk, he'll sell you a quarter pound for $300.
Okay.
Okay. You can add that to your inventory.
Does he have any fancy arrows?
Yeah. He's got recon dart, punch through dart, EMP dart, cipher dart, and blackout darts.
Cipher dart?
A cipher dart allows you to attempt to access a computer system by shooting a dart anywhere into that, like onto that computer, onto like a monitor, onto a server. It's like the remote access spell fired through an arrow.
Fired through an arrow, okay. Okay. What are those worth?
$25 a pop. Or $125 for the blueprint.
Ooh. Okay. Then I'll let me get just 2 of those.
Okay. So it's $50.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after I buy the things, I will carefully dismantle a bomb and put steel fibers into
Okay.
it.
Okay. Make a tinkering check. Do you have tinker's tools?
Actually, no.
Okay, you would need to. Didn't someone buy a multi-tool?
I think Hyde did.
Okay, for the sake of this, we'll say that it was in the digitizer, because I'm pretty sure Hyde did buy a multi-tool. So
yeah,
what was
Hyde
your
had
check
one.
for tinkers?
Dex plus just Dex since I'm not proficient.
If you're not
20.
proficient, yeah, then just Dex.
20.
Okay. You're kind of learning how to. Actually, what was your role if it was? Sorry, this would be an intelligence check.
Oh, it was a
So
natural
same roll,
17,
but intelligence.
21.
For you, yeah, that's higher. Yeah. So you not being used to working these tools or how the bomb works, you very adeptly kind of take the bomb apart and put in. We'll say you get about a 1/10 of a pound of these steel fibers in, and reassemble the bomb. Seemingly no issues.
Okay.
So is there anything else? Okay.
Not for me.
So with that, what is it you guys are doing?
I do need to do something. Virgil, how many doses do you have left?
You notice Virgil hasn't really thought about the dosage in quite a while. I have 2.
2. Okay. We need. maybe at least a week's worth. We don't know how long we're gonna be gone, right?
I smile at her, and I actually dig into my pouch. I take the 2 inhalers, or 1 inhaler with 2 cartridges, whatever, and I hand it back to Ezra.
No, thank
And
you.
I
I
say
don't
to-
use my own product.
I just say to her, and then after I laugh, just time to be brave.
I'm gonna put
And
them
I,
back in my bag then.
Yeah. And I go from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
then.
With that, you guys head out of the Knight's Take, making your way out of Muggy's, and you are now headed north.
Looking for fire.
Okay.
King for fire, yep.
So with that, you make your way. You make your way north, which would bring you by Hunter's Hill, where presumably you were going to meet your contact there, Ludwig, to discuss a job. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So as you guys approach the Hunter's Hill, I think this will be a good place to call this session, and we'll pick up there next time we play.
Yeah.
What did you call that? The Pharaoh again?
There's Cipher Dart.
Are we, would we be able to do experience?
That's true.
Yeah,
Doubt
'cause we
we're
didn't
even
do it last
halfway
time.
to a level up, but I like keeping track.
Yeah, you guys are not close.
No.
I don't think we've really done
I already-
that much.
I already added everything for your win with the what do you call it? Fuck. The name's eluding me. Honor League. I already did your Honor League win. Here, let me show you where you're at right now. So you're still at
87.
level 5. Yeah, you got a ways to go to get to 6.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah. So as the way we do experience, though, if you recall, if you discover more places, that gives you a little boost, and if you do quests as well, that gives you a boost. So you guys have not really done any, like, completed any jobs, or you've done these two, but as you do more, that's like a good way to get experiences, like actually interact with the world and do jobs for people or yourselves or whatever it is. So any
I'm such a
questions on
nerd,
how
buddy. I can't
on the
believe-
spreadsheet?
I can't believe
Yeah.
this.
Well, I feel like without this, keeping track of experience is so much of a nightmare that,
Yeah.
but I still wanted to do it because otherwise I like having the rules of everything be really clear,
Mhm.
because then less of it's up to me and it's just like I just blindly follow the rules and then nothing is my fault.
What
Nothing's
does
personal.
what does my tattoo look like, Alex?
I'll show you.
Oh, there you have pics. Picture
Yeah.
didn't happen.
Here we go. That's what it looks like.
Oh,
Ooh.
schmexy. All right. Gosh dang! I wish there was a way to clip art that to my robust chest. Also, out of curiosity, when let's say, like, for example, like Eddie was playing Shane for quite a bit of time. when you level up in a campaign, let's say you get to level 15, and you start a new campaign with the same character, how does that work?
So typically you won't.
Oh, okay.
There were kind of extenuating circumstances where Shane's the way we were doing his backstory and like I guess the what would you call it? The in-between time of the campaigns, he had the opportunity to play that same character because his character there were events that caused that character to essentially almost die and like level down. Same thing with Gareth.
Oh, okay. So it was in the story like to level down.
That's kind of
okay. Because I was wondering how that would work.
The story. Yeah, the story was that if you remember the Rakshasa, Benji like poisoned him by literally poisoning him with the seed of a fire elemental that was supposed to just be this horrible, painful death by fire from the inside out. And Shane, being Shane, just like absorbed it, and it eventually became the source of his his barbarian power. But for a long time, he was like way leveled down because of that. So, but that's not a typical thing. Like that's probably never going to happen again. So,
Gotcha.
These characters, if they live to the end of the campaign, are done at the end of the campaign. And hopefully just become villains for the next campaign. Like,
Please, no,
I think as our kind of standard.
Why can't they just be like...
Hey, that's the goal, ain't it?
No, please.
You guys don't know, but I'm gonna betray you.
That's all up to you guys.
I'm just kidding,
Don't we though? Don't we know? Don't we? We know you, Ricky.
I will never.
Yeah, I don't trust Ricky.
I'm gonna highlight you saying this because there's only one thing you could be building up our trust for.
Hey, just treat me right. That's all I'm asking. Just kidding.
70 sessions later, Rizel and Virgil are killing the party.
Yeah. Yep.
That will never happen.
Yeah.
If Virgil has anything to say about it.
All right. Well,
Quick with the arrow.
Yeah, good session.
oh, you'll
guys.
be
It was
long
fun.
dead.
Me?
You're gonna be on your
Yeah.
7th body by then.
Yeah, you're gonna be on your 7th character.
Yeah.
You know, technically now Asher can just be Asher, just reincarnated every time. Just keep coming back to the group as a new person.
You just gotta keep doing that.
Well,
same
the reincarnation still has a DC to it, and the DC goes. It's still the resurrection DC.
Wait, what happens if you just die though? You just don't get reincarnated, and that's where it stops.
Well, no, the DC
When you reincarnate, okay, so when you reincarnate someone, like you're choosing a body for them.
Mhm.
If Asher dies without being reincarnated, he'll come back as like an eagle, or like like a cat, like an actual cat, like an actual cat.
A house cat.
Or he'll just be born as a straight up baby, like
Yeah.
little Asher baby.
yeah, like there's a specific subset of people that are constantly reincarnated, like Esther, but even that eventually, it's something that can't be done anymore.
If
Like
Asher
everything
dies
has like a
again,
show plan.
That's a new character for games.
Just don't die.
Yeah.
Don't die again.
I'm not trying to.
He's gonna die. I can't believe you outlived Virgil.
What?
I can't believe you didn't outlive Virgil.
Yeah, that's what you meant to say.
No, I should be the bar for out. Like if you don't outlive me, there's a problem.
He's got disadvantage on death saves.
Yeah, and I have roll ones on this.
That's literally like a 10% chance of immediate death on every time he makes a single death save. It's just like
lower than 10%.
I have
it's a little lower than
100%
10%.
chance to fail
I have
this.
the power of love on my side. So
Yeah.
that's gonna take me to the end of this journey.
What's really fascinating to me is Ezra is your like revivify person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a weird kind of dichotomy going with Virgil and Ezra. And just intriguing.
Well, and what's even more interesting now is that Ezra, since you took the hexing stick, your spells get randomized, or not randomized, but you have to alternate every single spell every day.
And I can't.
So you can never take Revivify twice in a
can't
row.
repeat. Yeah, so Revivify is out for every other day, basically.
By the way, remember to do that today. I feel like I haven't been on Stephanie about doing that because I forget, but make sure every day you have to go through. Yeah, go through. Yeah, that's probably a really annoying magic item, but
It is.
yeah,
You can just like
you have to
kill it.
remember to go through and do that.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, it was a fun session. If anyone has any questions, James, I'll talk to you about your conversation with Esther. If anyone else has any questions, you can always hit me up.
Okay.
Right.
I
All right. See y'all later.